It's Alec.
Yes, hello, Alec.
Hi. I was wondering if you'd like to continue our discussion about getting all the ads down.
Okay.
Well, first, I want to let you know that just to make it clear, if you make another video that includes all the requirements that I'm going to list for you, I will remove all of my ads completely from the Wikipedia. If you follow my instructions, does that sound good?
Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Let me get something to write on it. Something to write with.
All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right. First of all, like I said in our last call, I'd like you to admit that I do have a very sizable fan base. Because I think you believe that I don't have any real fans. I'd like you to admit that I do. I have quite a lot of fans. A lot of them are former Sonichu fans.
Okay, well, yeah, admit that. Okay, what's the next thing?
Well, in your apology video, I asked you to address not only Simon Chu, but Simonla. And you didn't. And I'd like you to bring up that you actually did ask Evan permission to use Simonla when you first began using her, which shows that you understood from the beginning that Simonla was not yours and you were borrowing her from, or him rather, Simon Chu, from the original creator. And I'd like you to admit that Simonla was never yours.
Let's see.
Will you do that, Chris?
I'm writing it down. Hang on. All right, what's the next thing?
I'd like you to admit that you attempted to edit the Wikipedia article about Simonla to say that she was your original creation. That wasn't a nice thing to do to your fans.
Right. Anyway, got the written down. What's the next thing?
I want you to acknowledge that even though Evan gave you permission to use Simonla, he later took it away. And he took it away quite a long time ago. And I'd like you to admit that you have been ignoring and disrespecting his requests to remove his character from your comic.
All right, I'm writing it down. Information by withdrew.
You know, it sounds like you're actually pretty agreeable about this, and I'm glad about that.
Yeah, well, I'm writing it down here. Yeah.
Yeah, you're writing it down, so you're going to do those things so far?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's still debatable. Anyway, what's the next thing?
No, it's not debatable. Chris, all these conditions I'm listing, you have to do these or my ads go nowhere.
Yeah, anyway, okay, what's the next thing?
Does that matter to you, Chris? You said it's debatable, and I'm saying it's not. Don't you want to acknowledge that?
Acknowledged. Anyway, what's the next thing?
All right. I asked you to apologize for the word naive. I want you to do that. Specifically say that you used the word naive because you intended to hurt and insult me, and you know that I am not naive.
All right. Yeah, okay, what's the next thing?
I want you to apologize for cursing Mao. And actually, I'd like you to give him a forgiveness blessing to retract that curse Yehameha.
Okay. Anything else?
I want you to apologize for stealing from me. You know, the false chaotic combo I created, you stole them, and you stole Asperger and tried to change them around.
All right.
Can we talk about Simona a bit? Because I want to know why you say it's debatable.
Let me think about that a moment. Okay, I guess that's a premature thing to say, so I respectfully withdraw it. So, is there anything else?
So you are going to say that Simone Law is not you're going to say exactly what I asked you to say about Simone Law? You're going to...
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is, these are the things that I wanted you to make in a video, but I also want you to, in your comic, just take a page or whatever, take a little side break from the main story and use the page to explain everything that I just said as well. And I would like you to, in that comic page, apologize to me and to Mao and to Evan for all the things that I just listed.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Because I asked you... I just want to make sure you're going to do these, Chris, because I asked you to do these things the last time that we talked about it. I mean, the last time before you, hung up on me. And you said you were writing it down, but then you forgot like half the things that I asked you to do.
Yeah. All right, so is that it? Is there anything else?
I guess you don't have to put it in the video, this next part, but I'd like you to apologize for pretending to be your mother in the last phone call and pretending that she was calling you away from the phone call. And the reason I'd like you to apologize for that is because I really don't benefit a whole lot from calling you about these matters. I was calling you because I wanted to give you a quick and easy way to settle this whole ad business and to settle the fight between us. And rather than take the opportunity to listen to what I said, you pretended to be your mother and pretended that your mother was calling you away to do an errand and you had to leave the phone call. So instead of handling the problem right then and there, and if you had done so, then the ads could have been gone by now. But instead you ran away from me. It shows you don't respect me.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. Wrote that down. Anything else?
Well, I'd like you to admit that right now, Chris, that you lied about that.
Okay. Well,
and since you...
I admit I pretended to be my mother to end the call early last time.
Can I ask you why you did that, Chris?
Because I felt it was going on, and I was tired.
We were barely on the phone for 5 minutes when you did that. And this is, like I said, this is a serious matter, and it's your problem that I'm trying to help you with. I was being gracious enough to call you to, give you a way to settle it, and you ran away from me. Real men don't run away from their problems, Chris. When I talk to you on an even footing, man to man. I don't lie or deceive you, and I don't run away, even though you are a troll to me, because obviously I've been calling you to talk to you instead of hiding from you.
Okay.
That's another thing I want you to put in the video. I want you to admit that you are a troll, and you have been trolling me ever since my comic started. And use that word specifically. Say, I, Christian Weston Chandler, am a troll.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you read back to me the list that you've made since we started this call, please?
Okay. Big Milk has sizable fan base. I had permission for Simon Chu, but then it was withdrawn, and I did not admit Simona was not mine. Admit anything to Simona article. Yeah, Evan gave permission, but withdrew it. Gone against his wishes. No Simona. Apologize to Alex for calling him naive. Apologize to Mel for giving his blessing. Apologize for stealing Asper Chu and parodic characters. And make a comic page displaying all that with more apologies. And I just apologize to you for pretending to be my mother to end the call early and admit trolling you.
Okay, good. That's good so far. I'd also like you to apologize for insinuating that I keep female prisoners in my basement and use them as a unwilling harem and rape them, because I don't do anything of the sort. That's just creepy. I don't know where you got that idea. I mean, I can kind of see some of the other complaints that you had were based on, like direct misunderstanding of things, but the, me raping female prisoner things, that came out of left field. Where'd you get that idea?
Okay, well, actually, no. I never used the word rape. You just had them in prison and you treat them like hamsters. You did not rape them.
What do you mean treat them like hamsters?
Just keep them in cages, giant hamster wheels, giant water bottles, and food pellets.
Okay, even if you didn't use the word rape, what do you think the impression is people are going to get when you suggest that someone keeps female prisoners in their basement? They're going to think that said prisoners are being raped by their captor. And I mean, that seems like a pretty obvious insinuation, even if you don't use the word directly.
Okay. All right. Anything else after that?
I am still trying to think. I apologize for seeming like I'm beating a dead horse, but I am a little suspicious that you seem so agreeable because in all our previous correspondences you've been insulting, rude, or manipulative, or a combination thereof. But now it seems like you're just rearing to go with this. Are you sure you're just not trying to finish the phone call with me quickly? Because
I'm not trying to finish anything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to finish this phone call. I want to put this to rest.
Okay, well, good. Because like I said, if you do all these things perfectly, as I say, then my ads will go away. But if you make a video and you're missing anything, or if you deliberately contradict something, or if I feel like you are trying to pull a fast one on me and weasel out of something, then the ads are going to get worse. Because at this point, I do have to assume that anything that goes wrong is a deliberate evil intent on your part.
Let's see.
That's a fair assumption for me to make, don't you think? Considering how much you bullied and lied to me.
You have the right to make that assumption.
Okay, well, good. Excuse me just a second. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back.
All right.
Can I ask you why you think the word naive is so horrible?
Not only does the word sound like nails on a chalkboard when one says it, but also it questions one's intelligence and experience. in life.
I think it actually only questions experience. It's not about intelligence at all.
But experience versus knowledge, it's still implied, the knowledge part.
Well, no, knowledge is different from intelligence.
Yeah, but also similarly, it can sound like, calling somebody stupid, or worse than that.
Well, no pun intended here, but if you believe that, then I think you kind of are naive. I mean, because that you don't have an understanding of the word.
I looked it up in a dictionary, and I have the understanding of the word.
I don't know what dictionary you looked up that suggested it's a direct questioning of one's intelligence. I mean, let me look it up on an online dictionary here. Let's see, lacking experience or judgment. That's really not about intelligence. And I am still kind of bothered that, you think it's such a horrible insult, but you wanted to use it on me.
Okay,
and
well,
you happily.
Okay, well, still, in my defense, though, you did say, well, call me naive during that particular conversation.
That's just a turn of phrase, right? I wasn't actually asking you to call me naive.
Okay. Well, you gave me the opportunity, so that's my defense right there.
Let's
agree to disagree on that.
You should exercise some personal responsibility, though, because you think naive is such a horrible thing. Like, have you ever heard the phrase "just shoot me"? Like, if someone's frustrated, they'll say "just shoot me." I mean, if someone said that in your presence, would you feel, okay with, well, I'll just pull out a gun and shoot him?
No, I would not necessarily shoot them.
Not necessarily. Does that mean you'd consider it?
No, I would not shoot them at all.
Well, I should hope not. I mean, you've shot people in your comic before. I hope you wouldn't shoot them in real life.
Indeed. Anyway, all right, so anything else from this video? Or, because, aside from what I read to you before, I apologize for labeling you as having female prisoners in your basement and raping.
Yes, there's another item. I'd like you to admit that you don't have a good excuse to not upload pages every day. I mean, I think that's correct, right? You don't have a job. You don't go to school. I have both, school and a job, and I upload every day.
Yeah. In my defense, though, yesterday I went on a nice date with a nice girl, and it was a great date. It could have not gone better.
Oh, what was the date, like all day? I mean, it wasn't like in the morning, was it? You could have uploaded in the morning.
Yeah, well, I was not up in the morning.
You didn't have, any time. What time did you wake up? How long do you sleep?
I got about 11.
Well,
and I had to go out. I actually had to go out, run a couple of errands. I had to go to the grocery store, and also had to get my family some antifreeze for their car.
Okay. Well, I have chores.
And, of course, and then with that, I also had to take a shower, make myself fully ready for the date. When I shower and clean myself up, that takes like 20 minutes. Like I said, I have a job in school, and I have errands to do, and I go out with people, and I go on dates, and I still make sure I upload every day. I mean, Sonichu is your... Think of it this way. Sonichu is going to be your big franchise. That's what's going to make you money, right? So you should treat it like it is your day-to-day job. Yeah.
And
yeah.
When was the last day that you uploaded a page? It's been about a week, hasn't it? I mean, even if you had, yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, I did update the Wikipedia day before yesterday.
With the
Not
new
necessarily
comic page?
upload, but I made an update.
What kind of update did you make?
I believe it was a captain's log or a quote update.
Well, like a quote, really? I mean, what does that take?
Yeah,
5 minutes?
I would have gone for to answer letters to answer mailbag letters, but I just could
you've
not.
got the mail. You've got the mailbag.
I just could not stand the image that was plaguing my Wikipedia that Mal put up. I just could not stand that.
You know, Chris, if we confront our demons head on and defeat them, we come out stronger on the other side. You won't accomplish anything by running from the ads just because they're unpleasant to look at. I mean,
Right.
this is the internet. You've seen tons of unpleasant crap. I'm sure I have. Doesn't stop me from going on the internet. And like I said, Sonichu is serious business. It's your job. You should, and jobs are difficult. Jobs are hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had plenty of hard jobs. Like I don't think you have any real work experience, right? But trust me, jobs are difficult.
Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else?
Like I said, take Simona out of the comic, and in the comic, apologize to me and Mao and Evan for everything that I've listed.
Yeah.
And
okay, I have the list here.
Can I ask you what you're going to do to get your fans back? Because you've lost a lot of fans to me, and I know you want them back.
Yeah, well, I'm going to continue my work and make my updates.
Okay, well, you've said that a lot, and your update pattern has drastically dropped in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like, think of it this way, Chris. I'm your competition, obviously, and it seems that with one little series of unpleasant to look at ads, I have completely shut down my competition. Now, I'm a nice guy, and I'm trying to help you. And the average artist out there who's your competition sure as hell is not going to try to help you. So imagine what would happen if they found out, all I have to do is buy some ad space on his wiki and put up an ad he doesn't like looking at. And that'll just stop his comic production entirely. I mean, are my ads really the only reason that you haven't uploaded pages in a week? That and your busy day yesterday.
The very dirty ones. Yeah.
Pardon me for being blunt, but that sounds kind of pathetic, don't you think?
Takes one to know one.
Takes one what? Pathetic person? I wouldn't consider myself pathetic because I have, 30,000 fans, a good number of which I took from you, so I don't think I'm pathetic at all. I mean, why do you think I'm pathetic?
I do not have any reason at the moment.
Well,
or you did pretty much had to consider yourself weak to think, to have your own bunch of fans to steal someone else's.
How else do you think fans come around, Chris? How else do you think any new franchise gets fans? They come from other sources. I mean, people are not, living in a vacuum. Most of my fans have been fans of other things before they became fans of my work. That's how competition works. I mean, the better man wins. I'm productive, and I am consistent.
Yeah, I mean, still, the method you use of putting your ads on my website, that was like stealing from me. Even though you paid to put the ads there, you did not pay my sysops directly. You paid Jack Thaddeus.
Yeah, I rent the ad space from Jack. That's how it works. And it turns out people like Asperchew, so. I mean, you know, how do you think, you watch a lot of TV, right? I mean, you see a lot of commercials. Do you think all those, the people that make those commercials for, you know, Coke and McDonald's and all that, do you think they are bad people because they use ads? Is that what you're saying to me, that I am bad just because I use ads? Good franchises advertise their products.
I'm not saying that, but if you consider me competition, then it's just terribly wrong for you to try to encourage my fans to go to you by putting your ads on your own competition space. Yeah, what if I had put up, like, I have actually successfully bought ad space on your website and put my ads on your website? How would you feel about that?
Honestly, I don't think I'd be worried because you don't respect your fans and you don't update for weeks at a time. I think my consistency and my stick-to-itiveness and my work ethic, you know, is what makes my product superior. My fans would stay with me. I mean, they might go look at your website, your quickie, if you put ads on mine, but they probably wouldn't see much there worth keeping them around. There's a link to Sonichu on the Asperpedia front page, too, if you hadn't noticed. I mean, I'm not...
Anyway, yeah. Okay, well, yeah. All right. Anyway, is there... yeah, okay.
There is another... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you go ahead. You said there's another thing?
There's another item for your list. I want you to apologize to your fans for disrespecting them. You disrespect them in general, I mean, you know, all the time, but with your mailbags, because you don't offer thought-out responses and you delete most of the mail that comes to you these days. And there was a bit of a backlash with, I think, mailbag 50 or 51, whichever one that you fabricated, you know, positive mails for, instead of, you know, taking mails from the supply of existing mail. The one that you said, you know, the one where you basically wanted all your writers to trash me. Which is another thing I would add to the list, but I think I already covered, you know, wanting you to apologize for devoting all your time to trolling me lately.
Yeah.
I mean, every video that you've made, like, you know, your videos might be 2 or 5 or 10 minutes long, and then it probably takes quite a bit of time to upload the videos. You know, that's all time you could have spent making your comic, which would have kept fans around. But instead, the average fan sees 2 artists. They see me, who makes a good comic, and they see you, who attempts to terrorize other artists.
Let's see. Okay.
Did I? Oh, go ahead. What do you think about that?
Go ahead.
No. Let's. Hey. I had another subject to bring up, but I'd like to have your response to this first.
No, that's all right. You said you got another topic? Got another thing from my list?
No, I'd like to have your response to that first. What do you really think it was a good idea for you to devote what little energy you did put into this whole comic thing in the first place to attacking me? I mean, why would you think that was a good idea?
Well, because you attacked me first by putting your ads on my website.
That wasn't an attack. That was just a good business move.
Well, to me, it was an attack.
Well, it seems like to you everything is an attack. It seems like to you everything is theft when it's not. Chris, do you think it's okay for you to use Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog as, you know, characters in your story, and Transformers and Meg Griffin? I mean, wouldn't their original creators get mad that you're taking their characters?
Well, first off, we're talking about my own Autobots, my own Autobots Decepticons with recoloring and different names. So Hasbro's not going to complain about that.
You know that Hasbro owns the names Autobot and Decepticon, right? Just using those names is already taking from them.
Well,
Even if what's that?
I said nobody's complained to me yet.
Well, that's probably because you haven't made money on Sonichu yet. If you, I promise you, if you made one dime on Sonichu, Hasbro and Sega and Nintendo will come down on your head because you just recolor their characters.
Well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Or if it's like
Chris, you can't afford to wait till you get to that bridge because you've spent 10 years devoting your life to this comic, which will unravel the instant you try to make money on it. Make one dime, lose $50,000 in lawsuits. You need to do something about it now before you waste any more time and effort on a franchise that is full of stolen material.
Yeah, well, I'll think about that further.
Chris, I'm trying to help you here. I mean, how many times tonight have you said, you know, oh, I'll think about that. Anything else? Like I think you are trying to rush this phone call. Chris, you got to admit, I've got the patience of a saint to keep calling you and keep trying to be nice to you. And it seems like you have no concern for anything I say. I mean, keep in mind, I
am paying attention to everything you said.
But it seems like you don't want to take my advice.
Well, I am going to take your advice here. So let's
You mean you're going to restructure your comic completely and remove all elements of, you know, that belong to other creators? Because that would pretty much take apart your entire comic. What are you going to do? What's your plan? What are you going to do to follow that advice?
The reboots will happen in book number 12.
Well, you're still working on book 10, right? So you'll have that, and then all of book 11.
Yeah, well, book 11 will be like a clip show, which will unravel some of those plots and whatnot, and answer some questions. And then book 12 is like restarting with just Sancho and Roshu, and me not getting involved that much. That's
okay, well, is Sonichu still going to be a product of Pikachu and Sonic? Because that's a problem right there.
I do not have an answer to that question at the moment.
Chris, I suggest that you, instead of going through the rest of episode or issue 10 and 11, I suggest that you stop it all right now and come up with a completely different comic, because that's the only way you're going to get away from lawsuits. You got to answer this problem, because you know, Nintendo and Sega and Hasbro and Family Guy, they're not going to wait. They're not, and you know that when I say that you need to do a reboot, you know I mean that all of the Sonichu comics that currently exist, you could never attempt to get published. I mean.
Yeah, everything you have said has been taken to heart.
I kind of doubt that. You've got this kind of lackadaisical tone you're taking with me right now. Chris, do you believe I'm trying to help you?
Fairly much so.
Do you care that I'm trying to help you?
Yes, I care.
Okay. Do you feel bad that you've treated me like shit, even though I've tried to help you countless times? You sound like a small child trying to get out of being lectured. That's why I keep asking this. Chris, I'd like you to make me... I'd like you to make me believe that you actually are listening and believe to everything I say. And when I say listen, I don't mean, you know, you wrote down the list I asked you to and can repeat my words back to me. That's not what listening means. Listen means you are actually considering what I say.
I am actually considering what you are saying.
Prove it to me, Chris.
Okay, how do I prove it to you?
Show some concern. I mean, you say something other than "I will take it into consideration." That's the same thing you say to your fans every time they suggest ideas to you in the mailbag. I don't think you do take anything I say into consideration. You know what? My first few calls with you, I was nice like this, and you were insulting to me. And then, the next few times I tried to call you, I got mean and loud and yelled a lot, and then it seemed like you actually listened. And now I'm trying to be nice again because I don't like being mean to people, and now it seems like you stopped listening again. I think, I was hoping for the best, but I think I may have been right. I may have hit the nail on the head when I said that you seem to only listen to, to yelling and insults.
No, that is not true. I do not listen to only yelling and insults.
I think you do because, people, I think a big problem a lot of people have is that they believe the way they behave is the way that everybody behaves, and the rules that they follow is the way everybody follows. And I think that because you rely on bullying and trolling and insulting and trying to make other people feel bad just to make yourself feel good, because you practice all of those, I think you believe that that's the only set of rules that applies in the world.
Well, that is not the case.
You sound so convincing there. You really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You seem to really care about what Mao says, and all Mao does is insult you. Did I tell you that to get rid of Simona? I don't remember if I brought this up, but
yes, you did.
Evan wants you to violently kill her in the comic, and display it. Don't show it off screen or off panel, but you have to show it in the comic, like show her head getting chopped off or show her getting shot full of bullets, something like that.
I will not kill her, but she will leave Quickville peacefully.
You have to kill her. You have to kill her violently.
I am not going to kill her.
Chris,
I will let her leave.
That's one of my terms. It's not like Poochie from The Simpsons where you can just, take his frame out. Chris, you violently kill her or Evan might come down on you in the Wikipedia. And I know you already got the Wikipedia shut down once when you tried to manipulate the ads. If you don't respect this now, it's going to get shut down again because Evan is going to come down on you. And he would have come down on you a long time ago, except I was trying to be the voice of peace and was holding his anger in check. And I'm not going to do that now. Now I've learned my lesson. Now I'm just telling you these are the terms. You either follow them or you face Evan's anger.
All right.
So you're going to violently kill Simona, right? And show it.
Will happen, yes.
Okay. I suggest fire. I think that's always a good way to go to deal with characters that you want to get rid of. It's very visually draws people in. Everybody loves fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes I light people on fire in my comic, and every time I do, I get all this fan mail, just praising that one panel or that one page.
Yeah. Well, I will think of something. I will think about it. All right.
Can I have you one more time read off your list to me?
Okay. Admit Gallic has sizable fan base.
Let's actually change that to admit Alec has a greater fan base than you. Let's just, because we should be specific.
Greater fan base.
Yep, bigger fan base.
Address, yeah.
And the rules that they follow is the way everybody follows. And I think that because you rely on bullying and trolling and insulting and trying to make other people feel bad just to make yourself feel good, because you practice all of those, I think you believe that that's the only set of rules that applies in the world.
Well, that is not the case.
You sound so convincing there. You really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You know, you seem to really care about what Mao says, and all Mao does is insult you. Did I tell you that to get rid of Simona? I don't remember if I brought this up, but
Yeah, yes, you did.
Evan wants you to violently kill her in the comic, and display it. Don't show it off screen or off panel, but you have to show it in the comic, like show her head getting chopped off or show her getting shot full of bullets, something like that.
I will not kill her, but she will leave Quickville peacefully.
You have to kill her. You have to kill her violently.
I am not going to kill her.
Chris,
I will let her leave.
No, that's one of my terms. It's not like Poochie from The Simpsons where you can just, take his frame out. Chris, you violently kill her or Evan might come down on you in the Wikipedia. And I know you already got the Wikipedia shut down once when you tried to manipulate the ads. If you don't respect this now, it's going to get shut down again because Evan is going to come down on you. And he would have come down on you a long time ago, except I was trying to be the voice of peace and was holding his anger in check. And I'm not going to do that now. Now I've learned my lesson. Now I'm just telling you these are the terms. You either follow them or you face Evan's anger.
All right.
So you're going to violently kill Simona, right? And show it.
Will happen, yes.
Okay. I suggest fire. I think that's always a good way to go to deal with characters that you want to get rid of. It's very visually draws people in. Everybody loves fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes I light people on fire in my comic, and every time I do, I get all this fan mail, just praising that one panel or that one page.
Yeah. Well, I will think of something. I will think about it. All right.
Can I have you one more time read off your list to me?
Okay. Admit Gallic has sizable fan base.
Let's actually change that to admit Alec has a greater fan base than you. Let's just, because we should be specific.
Greater fan base.
Yep, bigger fan base.
Address, yeah, greater. I said that. All right. Anyway, that. And address permission of sign which you used, but then it was withdrawn. And admit Simona was not mine. Admit adding Simona article. Remove Simona by death. Apologize to you for calling you naive. Apologize to Mel with the forgiveness blessing to undo the curse. Apologize for stealing Asperger and parodic characters. Make a comment page explaining all that. I just apologize to you for pretending to be my mother to get out of the last phone call. Apologize for insinuating female imprisonment and rape on you. Admit to having no excuse for not updating on as often as I should, and apologize to my fans for disrespecting them in mailbags and delayed updates.
And when you make this video, make sure that you are wearing your Sonichu medallion and your high school ring so everyone knows it's true. And I don't want to see any of that Groucho Marx glasses bullshit, because you've done that before. This video, I don't want any way for you to weasel out of this video.
Okay.
This video will stand for all the time.
Yeah.
And one last thing, I'd like you to admit that Sonichu is a doomed franchise, and you have no way of actually profiting from it or publishing it without getting, sued 6 ways from Sunday by the real owners of the products you use.
Yeah.
That's the final thing to the list.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you've got the list comprehensive, which is good. I'm glad you've got that written down. And I just want to emphasize again that you will do all of those items both in a video and in your comic. And if you do it all perfectly, exactly the way I've laid out for you, and if I don't sense that you're trying to weasel out of anything or trying to pull a fast one on me, then I will remove all my ads. I will, I'll release my contract with Jack. But if you do try to pull anything, then the ads are going to get worse. Because despite the fact I'm trying to be calm with you, I am still very angry with you. And if you try to pull anything on me, then I'm going to punish you for it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, well, I will do all that, and I will talk to you later.
All right. I'll look forward to seeing the ad and the comic.
Okay.
All right. You have a good night, Chris.
You too.